about to say I was about to say that, bearing in mind, because things have changed and we do have a veto process, I'm honestly surprised that Beckett Industries made it through the vetoes.
I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not. I know who are casting light. I know these two players. Especially when they're up against one another.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of Beckett Industries, the business incubator apparently is what it says on LinkedIn. We are spawning on that map now. We're here at the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We have the blue Terran player, almost an Azure color, wouldn't you say? Coming down from the land of Brisbane, one of the Brisbane boys. I think currently the top rated of those that gang, but we'll figure it out. Representing Opus V, the tech company, he is Azure. Hi.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Beckett Industries ALE, we have the Indian Zerg player. He is red, representing Alpha X. It is Demi.
I am honestly, I'm excited to see the classic matchup once again. You know, Azure versus Demi. But as you said, it's been a very, very long time since we've seen both players really face off against each other. I'm curious to see if Azure has any more tricks up his sleeve. But more than that, I am curious as to what Demi's ZVT is looking like. What's his go-to? The meta has shifted considerably since then.
Yeah, I'm curious as well. I mean, especially because, like, we have seen, to be fair, we have seen some of Demi's ZVT, right? We saw him against Dark Void. Yeah, he did go Ling Bane Muta. There was another game where he was going Ling Bane straight into Hive, actually. That was game number 1, I believe. So it's really cool to see him adapt a little bit. Meanwhile, when it comes to Azure, something that we always praised him for is that he had a very wide variety of builds. He was never like doing the same thing game after game after game. Like he could just go for anything at any point, even play mech if he had to.
Yeah, I think that was a tournament that we cast. I want to say it's one of the Dare Cups where somebody actually counted. Azure never went for the same build twice, and he made it all the way to the finals that week.
Yeah, it's probably one of the biggest strengths of Azure. So we'll see what he has to offer here, especially on Beckett Industries, a very short rush distance map, a map where you can just rally across the map and really overwhelm your opponents. I do worry for Demi here a little bit, but to be fair, he's also a macro beast. He's on top of his creep spread, so I'm honestly excited to see these two like veterans duke it out once again.
As am I. Already off to a pretty good start for Azure. Very nice micro. Keeps the Reaper alive despite being very, very active with it.
Yeah, exactly. Nicely done there by Azure. Meanwhile, he is opening up with a 1-1-1 no fast throw TC here, which makes a lot of sense because of how small this map is. It would be pretty risky to go for a fast throw TC build, so being a little bit more safe here.
Yeah, I even like that he's just getting the Hellions out immediately, not waiting around for an add-on. He knows he needs to keep himself safe as can be before moving forward. Interesting build from Azure, though. Immediately after that Hellion goes for a mine. Are we going to see mine drops, maybe?
Oh my god. Okay. We'll see how committed this is as he throws down an armory.
I like it. And I mean, what is the detection looking like for Zerg? Answer me that one. Is he being hidden?
Oh my god, it's non-existent, mate. As the best of the Marines, the boys are here. Demi will not scout this whatsoever, so the armory does go unscattered. It is hidden here. Meanwhile, Demi, what does he have? Okay, he's throwing down a couple of spores, which will definitely help, but again, it feels like this is kind of like a spore ready for a Liberator more than anything.
That's exactly what it is, yeah. Azure not being too dedicated here.
Oh my god.
Coming in with 2 Widow Mines. That is a fusion core being made.
That is a fusion core being made. Maybe we have a Widowmine drop into BCs. Meanwhile, here comes the Widowmine drop. There is a spore here. There is detection. So best case scenario for Demi. Oh my god.
Absolutely is. But Azure is boosting on forward. There's no spore crawler in this position.
Oh my god.
Sure, Azure might not get too much damage done. He trades decently well.
Yeah.
Not losing a single mine quite yet.
Exactly, he keeps the medevac alive as well. Detection is required to deal with this, so Demi, he does work on that lair for that mobile detection. We'll see if Azure is a little bit cheeky, and if he repositions this line, maybe like waddles into the mineral line. It's possible.
It is be a little bit awkward to do, though, considering that there's already a spore crawler there for detection. Speaking of spore crawlers,
yeah, another one gets.
Like this is Demi. I feel like this is Azure actually getting a lot of losses on mining time on top of Demi.
Oh yeah, exactly, especially here at this third base. Does force a shot there by that third. Meanwhile, this one here hasn't gone off quite yet. We were talking about that BC. It's still on the way, and that's going to surprise Demi. Demi hasn't been able to go in for a second scout.
That he has not. He is getting a lair, though, so will
have
some tools available to him. He's starting to waddle in.
Oh my god.
Go for a waddle flank. Potentially tries to burrow right on top of every single one of those drones, but unfortunately very quick on the pull from Demi. Very good control. The Hellbats immediately takes out one of these queens. Even with the transfuse.
The Banelings are not ready. These Hellbats are pushing forward. Every single queen is going to go down here. There's only one Baneling left. It looks like it may just barely finish up. Is it going to be enough? It does connect, but there's so much Terran here, and here comes the BC.
And that was the nail in the coffin. GG is called. Azure takes game number 1 on Beckett Industries. Told you they'd like this map, like. Or at least one player would.
Of course the Terran did. Of course he did. As I have to really wonder what the hell Demi vetoed, to be honest. Especially in the best of 3. Like, mate, you got 2 vetoes. Like, you let this through? My god, madman. Are we going to end up on Blackburn as well? Is that what's going to happen? If we do, it could be a quick 2-0, mate. Like
Blackburn immediately after this one. Yeah, let's go.
Oh my god.
And I will say that I normally imagine Azure as that sort of patient bio-Terran player waiting for the right time to go for the counterattack, but that's not by choice for Azure. He is somebody who does throw out a lot of these kinds of builds. He's all-ins every now and then, but does it so efficiently that even when they get held, he knows how to get to the next phase, come back in the game.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, this is one of the few times an opponent, especially Demi, actually fell to the all-in.
Exactly. Like that was very nicely done there by Azure. Again, it wasn't a 1-2 punch. It was like a triple combo made. It was Widowmines into Hellbat push into BCs. Like, it was terrifying.
One after the other. Even a couple of Marines right at the end there. It all started with a Reaper. Now we're going into our next map, and it ain't Blackburn, but still, I guess, a bit of a confusing map choice. At least from the Zerg perspective. Yeah,
I mean, this is a little bit more standard, I would say, compared to Beckett Industries, but every map is more standard compared to that. So we'll see what we have here on 2000 Atmospheres. We have encountered some split map scenarios, but more importantly, like, I'm just looking at Azure. Like, what the hell does he have in store for us here?
A whole bunch is what I imagine. Harpoon. As we begin our lower bracket finals here on 2000 Atmospheres LE, we're in the top right-hand corner maps, putting all the way in the top right-hand corner. We have the red Zerg player coming down from the Jewel of India. He is going to be representing Alpha X. And he was definitely one of the favorites to make it all the way to the finals today, but now he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to scout his opponent a lot better. He is, to shock himself, he is Demi.
And And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Australian Terran. He is blue, representing Team Opus V, already up 1-0 in this best of 3 lower bracket finals. It is Azure.
All eyes on him.
All eyes on this man right here, right now. Can he make it a clean sweep? Can he make it all the way to the grand finals for his chance at that revenge against the Joey? Or will Demi turn this around?
Oh. Yeah, we'll definitely say. I will say that Azure, I think lately in these past couple of weeks, has been in probably the best shape we've seen him in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's been taking ANZ champs very, very seriously. I mean, that's why even despite 2 days from now, him having a match, he is still signing up for whatever he can, just trying to get whatever practice in a semi-competitive environment he can.
Definitely, definitely. I'm really curious, especially because I believe this weekend Azure plays against Oreo. So
Ooh.
He may want to
Oreo, take notes.
I was about to say he may want to keep things close to the chest, but at the same time, we were talking about it in game 1, where how Azure just has so many builds available to him. He could show off some builds here and use none of them against Oreo, you know? Like, it's possible.
Very Zeus-like in that manner, I guess.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm sure Azure, he is playing his heart out here. Same with Demi, you know, there is no ANZ champs for the Southeast Asia region. Like, Demi is also trying his hardest here to try and make it to the grand finals once again.
And he has nothing to hide here. I guess that's also another thing, dimension, right? Azure obviously doesn't care that much about the fact that ANZ champs is coming up. He's calm, he's cool as a cucumber, and he has faith in his build order variety, but I see. Okay, sorry about that, Demi.
If you're wondering, I believe they are in voice with each other.
They are. They usually do that quite a couple of times. Obviously, they're not speaking to each other. That would be a terrible idea.
Yeah, that they are. I'm just quickly checking. Yes, Demi is muted in their call with each other.
Yep. I think one of them may have forgotten to mute right at the start there, so I had to quickly rectify that.
Definitely, but it does happen relatively frequently. Like, again, a lot of these guys are friends with each other. I remember there was a WC Weekly that we casted. It was Pez versus Seether, and they were also in a call with each other as well as they played. So it does happen from time to time, and oh boy, they aren't really the kind to like trash talk each other while they're playing, but you know.
I mean,
if Hud was playing, then he would.
I was gonna say, yeah. I've heard some banter between Hut and Pez in my day.
Yeah, definitely. Aye. But here we go. We are slowly getting into the swing of things. Demi did go for a scout. He did scout the 111. I believe he saw the tech. Yep, he did see the tech lab researching, so he's aware that it is going to be Banshees.
Yeah, even if it was going to be a fake out, regardless, Demi wants to get a couple of spores here and there just to have a little bit more anti-air. You don't invest in tech lab like that unless you intend to harass with starport units. Exactly.
So Demi is setting up. We should see some spores soon. There we go. They are thrown down. Meanwhile, we also have a lair on the way just for that mobile detection, just in case. So Demi does have that available to him. And this time we should see a bit of a longer game here. Like, it feels like there isn't that much like aggression coming out from Azure. He's just maintaining map control.
Yeah, doing standard Terran things at the start of the game. Moving around his Hellions, trying to clear up as much creep as possible. Gotta wait for those Banshees to really come out on the map, and that's when Azure will really start to look for opportunities to dive on top of one of these mineral lines with either unit.
Exactly. Boy, meanwhile, Demi, with that lair, like, he does have a bailing list, so he can start bailing speed, but I was about to say, yep, Spire is on the way. A big tell for this is there are no Evo chambers, so he is delaying his upgrades for a much faster Mutalisk.
Yeah, unfortunately, I sure doesn't see that. Ooh, that's a neat little micro trick.
It's very cute.
Did not need to waste a scan.
Yeah, didn't have to hit one of his own Hellions either.
Oh, yeah.
Nicely done there. Meanwhile, the Banshees are getting ready to dive into one of these bases. There are still spores all over the place, but these Banshees can one-shot workers. They can try and, you know, pick off some of the gas mining drones even.
Yeah, we'll see how well the control is for Azure. Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good so far. 2 drones go down, but there was some damage on one of these Banshees. So, again, these Banshees, they will go down once the mutas come out, so they still need to find a little bit more.
Just like so. Very good kiting coming out from Azure here, really minimizing the amount of damage these Banshees are taking.
Oh, the Queens! The Queens! He wants intercept!
Position. He really does. There's also an Overseer there. But thankfully, the amount of dead air on a map like 2,000 atmospheres will give Azure a bit of a heads up. Won't save one of his Banshees, though.
Yeah, he only has 1 Banshee remaining. He will get eyes on the 5th base of Demi, as Demi is double expanding. Looks like the 5th may be denied, but he has another base over here. I guess his real 5th, to be fair. Meanwhile, it looks like Demi, he's getting ready for a bit of a bailing run-by.
Yeah, he's been doing that quite a bit here, but Azure is definitely on top of things, getting that wall up a lot quicker.
That he is. We saw that bailing run by earlier against Dark Void. We'll see if it works against Azure. Meanwhile, Azure is pushing out deep into creep, once again trying to take out this base. Fun fact, he actually hasn't seen the northernmost base of Demi.
Yeah, which is a little bit unfortunate. I mean, this 5th base is a bit of a fake out. The mutas start to come in. There's not quite enough anti-air. Turret is trying to get thrown down in the main base, but not quite fast enough. Demi absolutely wreaking havoc here.
Yeah, exactly. The SCVs are going down. The missile turret was killed, and it looks like almost every single SCV here in the main base. 14 go down. Ay.
Always got to keep it in the back of your mind here, Azure. You're up against Demi. The Muta King himself.
Exactly. I didn't realize how important it was, the fact that Azure wasn't able to. He saw the lair, sure, but he did not see that spire, and he was punished for it. He wasn't ready for the mutas whatsoever. And just like that, Demi takes a massive lead. Azure, he did force a cancel on this base on the right-hand side, but he still hasn't seen the true 5th base, so he doesn't really know that he's down. The true 4th base, I should say.
Yeah, if all he knows is a 3-base Terran player up against a 3.5 base Zerg player, which is absolutely ideal as a Terran player, but we know a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, we do have full vision, so that helps. Helps a little bit here. Yeah. As, Azure actually going for a bit of a Widowmine drop.
I'm liking this. Once again, this is just getting a lot more popular in every single matchup nowadays for the Terran player. Well, not so much in TvT, but yeah, it's gaining or regaining popularity, I should say, in TvZ. Used to be exclusively a TvP thing. I'm going to try to intercept, but don't quite get much. That's a lot of mines, but we'll see how well Azure is able to position them. Mines don't do much if they can't actually get right in the heart of Borrow mines, puppy! That's a good body block for the Zerglings, but you need something to deal AoE damage. Those some decent connections, but not good enough. Azure is all in now, and he loses all of his bio, or most of his bio.
Yeah, the splits were not there. He still has a bit of a bioforce behind the Widowmines, but Demi, he's trading fairly well here on the defense. Meanwhile, the mutas, as you said, are wreaking havoc here in the natural base. The natural base actually goes down.
And Azure has not even been able to take out this 4th base quite yet. These two Widowmines not helping at all in this fight.
Not really, as the lean main comes in, and it looks like Demi will be able to clean all of this up. He takes out the natural base and the army completely. Now Azure, he's stuck on only 2 bases, mate.
The worst economic situation you can get as a Terran player in TvZ.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this Widowmine drop didn't do anything here. Like, he was trying to go into one of the bases, and oh my god, he gets taken out before he gets anything done.
Ouch. Just a ouch.
4 Widowmines, mate. Oh my god.
I'm sure there's a Thor now, but I don't think that's gonna matter too much if it gets surrounded by some Lings, for example.
Yeah, exactly. This is the Hail Mary play here for Azure. This is his final chance here to try and end the game, but the Lings, the mutas, they get us around.
Trying to micro the Thor, but it immediately gets picked off. There we have it. Should be seeing a tap out very, very soon. I just don't know how Azure can come back in this game. He is macroing as hard as he can, and he did manage to resaturate the third base, but yeah, to say that Demi is still ahead is a bit of an understatement.
He's insanely ahead right now. The only way this could go Azure's way is that if all these mutas get taken out by like 4 Widowmines. But GG gets called.
Demi takes us to the ace match. I guess it shows you how close the caliber of these players are, both in the winners finals, this lower bracket finals, and I imagine eventually the grand finals. Never a clean sweep.
Exactly. At least that's what I'm happy for, that both these players, they are taking it to the ace match. We do see them go back and forth. We've seen both players shine a little bit here. But oh my god, just Azure, after those mutas revealed themselves and killed 14 SCVs, that was just such a massive loss, and a loss that Azure was never able to recover from. I do think that a way for him to come back would have been with that 4 Widowmine drop if he like cleared out a mineral line, but the fact that he didn't get anywhere close to a mineral line, that was devastating.
Yeah, Demi definitely on top of a lot of that, which again I guess does come back to how Azure didn't know that there was a base towards the north there, that Demi was really focusing on saturating. He was trying to send his Widow Mines towards more the south, but there was nothing to really pick off when it comes to workers in the southern bases, and yeah, in the end, did not come to pass. Imagine if the roles were swapped, right? If Demi sent that Widow Mine drop to north and sent his push to the south. Or
yeah.
Azure, rather. I think I said if Demi, yeah, sent a mine drop.
It could have been completely different. And it is a little bit unfortunate there. But hopefully our players are able to kind of shake that off. Azure is able to shake that off. As we are diving into the ace match, we have confirmation of what the map is. It's all gonna come down on Romanticide.
Ooh, how fitting. An ace match between these two players.
Yeah, exactly. Watch Azure proxy. It could happen.
Watch him proxy 1-1-1.
Go full Tasia on him, mate.
I want to say watch Demi 12 full, but he wouldn't do that. It's Demi. Demi only does that to if he really thinks things are hopeless, i.e. when he's up against me and Micah.
I was about to say, he only does that against the Zerg Muta Triangle boys. Only against them.
You know what, now that you mention it, I'm not sure I've seen a Demi versus Ender match.
Oh, we need to make that happen.
One that I can remember anyway, yeah. But till then, we are going to be concluding our lower bracket finals here on Romanticide LE. We're in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have the red Zerg player coming down from the land of India. He is going to be representing Alpha X. He is Demi.
And spawning in. Yeah, spawning in the bottom right, but also going for that proxy. Let's go. We have the Australian Terran representing his brand new team, Opus V. It is Azure. Oh god, is he gonna get scouted?
He's getting scouted. I think that's just barely out of... Nope, that is in vision, and even if it wasn't, he was rallying towards it. Demi, well aware of the proxy, and also hiding his overlord a little bit.
Exactly. Demi knows about the proxy, but Azure doesn't know that Demi knows about the proxy.
Exactly. But Demi knows that Azure doesn't know that Demi knows the proxy.
And that's huge. What you said makes perfect sense, and it's huge, mate. Oh my god.
Mate.
All right,
we'll see.
We'll see what the response is going to be here. Again, Demi, he does see these SCVs mining through these mineral patches. It's going to be on Demi to try and intercept these SCVs and make sure that they do not manage to throw down any bunkers.
Which is definitely going to take a little while. I mean, that spawning pool is still looking to get up and running, but to be fair, so are the Marines. Azure may have pulled the trigger a little bit quick over here. Demi can still defend against this with pure drones.
Yeah, I was about to say the opposite. Like, Demi, he didn't really react too fast with his drones, so the bunker did begin here. It should go down just barely. Ooh, forces a cancel.
Cancel right at the end, yeah. Now one is on the way, but again, I have to worry for Azure right now. It's only 2 Marines. 3rd and 4th are coming to meet that, but honestly, this is kind of not so much of an ideal scenario, but totally a better scenario for the Zerg player to be able to isolate these Marines and surround them, whether it's with lings or with drones. I mean, just like that. Oh my lord, Demi's doing this mostly with drones.
Yeah, exactly. As he's able to clean all this up, every single Marine does go down. The bunkers are canceled. He can go back to mining. And now Demi is on top of the production.
He very much is. Starting to ling flood. He is kind of ignoring that proxy now. Okay, actually heading back on base. I thought he might go for a bit of a counterattack here.
Yeah, it's kind of risky just because he doesn't have link speed. Unfortunately, he wasn't mining too much gas, which to be fair, he shouldn't have. He should only have 1 drone there. So he does start link speed. It's still a ways away. So Azure will have an opportunity to transition.
Indeed, he shall, but he's going to do so from a position of catch-up for so long. You know, like that Azure is starting to pump out a couple of Reapers. I mean, Marines aren't really going to do much from here on out, so might as well get something a little bit more mobile, a little bit more annoying.
Yeah, exactly. There's always an opportunity with these Reapers to find some damage, and he was able to chip away at this Queen, but the Queen does stand strong without plenty of lings, and these Reapers did not get any economic damage whatsoever.
No scouting information either, although, to be fair, what is there to scout at this point?
True. I mean, Azure doesn't know that, though, to be fair, right? They could be a Roach Warren in here for all he knows.
And Demi knows that Azure doesn't know that.
Demi knows that Azure doesn't know that Demi isn't or is going for a Roach Warren.
Dude. Facts. The layers. Straight up facts. Erebus telling us that Demi has plenty of practice against this thanks to the likes of Caesar and Hut.
Sure, yeah, historically, I imagine. Nowadays, I'm sure Demi has a lot of chivalry practice with the Seether and Hut. Exclamation mark Funada Hut. Hut is like the worst at that sort of stuff. He's always trying to approach our players, Oreo and Starduck, to drag them into other games. Yep. God damn it, Hut.
Like,
stay away from the Ducks. Stay away.
Hey kid, you wanna play other games?
You wanna play some Dota? I got some Dota here if you want some. Just
I got a beta key.
Follow me into this server, into this lobby.
I got a free key for the Steam game.
Oh god. God damn it, Hut. Alright, here we go. Yeah, Azure, he is being aggressive out on the map, chipping away at this 3rd base, but there are plenty of Queens here, plenty of Lings as well. Link speed is already done.
Yeah, some transfuses were used. The medevac is here, so I guess Azure might want to try to micro, I guess. It's definitely a bit trickier juggling Hellions into a... The drones! What am I? The drones are all lined up, light! And they get lit the heck up.
Oh my god, 6 drones immediately going down. That was a beautiful volley there by Azure. More damage that he really should have gotten there. So, a bit of miss micro there by Demi. He left that area exposed. He's going for a bit of a Ling run by what is there at home to defend? Only 2 Hellions, and he gets surrounded.
Just like so, these Hellions not having a good time at all. And I mean, already taking out those Hellions is pretty dang good. It's a lot less to worry about when it comes to the front lines. This Ling run by is drawing every single force of Azure back. Well worth it so far for Demi, and already saturating, or resaturating rather, that third base.
Yeah, like Demi, he took a lot of losses at that third base when it comes to drones, but immediately he was able to counterattack, and sure, he didn't kill as many workers, but a lot of lost mining time there from Azure, so nicely done by Demi. He is able to restabilize and work on his own lair. Mate, no EV chambers.
Mate, I see 2 gases being taken.
Yep, here we go. All gases are being taken here as Demi is looking to, I imagine, not just take a 4th, but also, there it is, throw down the Spire.
I was gonna say throw down a 5th, but yeah, no, that's a 4th, not 5th. But I mean, the positioning on that 4th base is interesting to say the least, though.
Very interesting. I don't like it. It's a lot more exposed. It's also a lot more hidden. Azure is unaware that that base is being taken, so otherwise he would be applying pressure there, and he has just no idea.
That he does not. What his queens will not go down. Oh, the transfuse right at the last second.
Yeah, and again, like, there's no creeps here. Like, this base is so exposed, but Azure has no idea. He's applying pressure at the third base instead, and he just can't make his way through these queens.
Man, so far this game has gone from bad to worse to even worse for Azure, but we'll see if he can take advantage of a bit of a timing. Sim has finished up, and he is building a bit of a bioforce. More tanks are on the way. Demi is still trying to go for that Spire play. As long as Azure, I don't know, maybe throws a scan in that natural base and get some turrets up at home, then I think this counter push can do quite a bit, but I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm being very optimistic here.
As Azure, he was just trying to take a base, and there's nothing here to really stop this Overlord, so his third base is even more delayed than he would have liked it to have been. There are a decent amount of Marines, but there's so much thing. Bane, he's diving on top of them.
Oh, the text is so exposed. It's so vulnerable right now. Light. Azure is kiting back far away from creep, but that doesn't matter when there's that much Zerg on the ground. Completely deflected. Jeez.
Yeah.
One Hellion makes it out.
Only a single Hellion comes home to tell that tale, and unfortunately Azure, he's only just now taking his third base. Demi didn't even need his mutas to do all that damage, and Azure still has no idea. There's no missile turrets in position whatsoever. I feel like we're gonna have a bit of a repeat of game number 1 as Demi, the mutas, they're coming in.
Yeah, he didn't need the mutas to deal that much damage, but the mutas are coming regardless.
Oh boy, they're gonna be slipping into that main base. Sorry, I said game number 1, I meant game number 2, as that's the game where Demi did go for those mutas, and now they're here, they're in the natural.
Game happened before this one. They are in the natural, and there's no anti-air. The Marines are out of position, and again, just no turrets or mines or what have you. 10 SCVs picked off for free. And that was just the appetizer for Demi.
Exactly. He wants more. He's hungry, mate. He has not had dinner, just like Yaku, and he wants more of what Azure has to offer, mate. As the mutas are rotating around, Azure still, okay, he does throw down missile turrets. He does not have them in his other bases, but it's so risky to try and leave his base now, like to even go for any drops.
Yeah, and also counterpoint, what a turret's gonna do against Baneling run-bys?
That they're gonna stand there and do nothing, mate.
They're gonna try to be Sim City, but actually it messes with the pathing a little bit. Makes the STVs bunch up.
Yeah, as the depot gets taken out as well by these mutas. These Marines are trying to chase them down, but they're just not fast enough. Demi, he is maxed out. He has 86 workers. He has 5 bases. He wants to end the game.
He can trade as efficiently as he wants from here on out. He's still going to have an economy to support that. And more importantly, Azure is still far from maxing out.
Exactly. Down 50 supply. Azure, he's working on 2-2. Again, like, his upgrades are keeping him in this, but I say keeping him in this, like, oh my god. The Ling Bane is coming in.
And there's not a whole lot Azure can really do. One of these tanks isn't even sieged up. Everything gets around it. Everything else gets, all the bio gets met with Banelings. Actually a pretty good position here for Azure. Keeps a lot of the Marines alive, but I would say nowhere near enough.
Honestly, that was a very good reaction from Azure. He even, like, saved the majority of his SCVs at the third. That was very impressive, very quick. But what's important, the tank count was reset. There are only Marines left, when the next wave comes, and it is coming, Demi will have such an easier time breaking through.
Absolutely will. Even still applying more and more pressure here with the Mutalisk. We're just tearing Azure apart here. Back and forth.
Fun. Azure only has 2 gases, by the way. Like he
Lost everything else.
Yeah.
Slight bank.
Man with gun is
1 tank at a time, I guess.
Man with gun is all he needs, I guess. Meanwhile, there's the massive main force. He wants to push in once again, but Azure is pushing out across the map. It does get spotted by the mutas of Demi, though.
And thankfully for Demi, he did make sure that his creep spread was all across the map. He doesn't have a tough time at all getting back in position with his Ling Bane. Azure's taking this very seriously, though. He's pre-splitting his army. He wants to try to bait Demi into his tank line. I say tank line, so just 2 tanks.
Yeah, how do you engage with this without Widow Mines is my question, as the Ling Banes and the mutas are pushing on forward. The tanks will fall.
And the bio will die.
Yeah,
eventually.
There's just too much Zerg here as Demi overwhelms everything that Azure has left. There's some nice micros, some nice pre-splits here from the Marines, but
in the end, Demi was way too hungry. GG is called, and we have our TvZ rematch. GG indeed. I missed this. Like, I've missed Azure versus Demi. Took it all the way to the ace match, and I would say the first 2 games, that last game definitely looked like Demi was in control from the start to the end, but that was also kind of because Azure put himself behind with a proxy that immediately got scouted. The rest, everything else, though, very, very intense, very, very close games.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're getting another pretty close series, in my opinion. I fully expect this one to go to the ace match again as well.
Yeah, it definitely could. As a reminder, of course, Gogo Joey, he does have a 1-0 lead in the finals. Since he didn't drop a single series, he is coming from the upper bracket, so Demi will have that to kind of climb back from. But we have seen that Demi can do well here against Gogo Joey. As you said, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to the ace match. Also, congratulations to Demi. Like, again, we haven't seen much from him this year, so it's great to see him in the finals.
Yeah, once again, who is going to win this grand final? So is Demi going to be taking another championship after a long break and a bit of a drought? Or is Gogo Joey going to take his third consecutive Grand Platypus Open championship? I think I phrased that a little confusingly. His third.
You kind of just like got lost in your own words a little bit there.
Is Gogo Joey going to win a 3rd consecutive Grand Platypus Open for the first time?
His third consecutive Grand
for the first time.
Demi championship. Congratulations. Oh god. You got there in the end.
Yeah.